Hey guys, Big J here, back again in my Let's Play series. I am currently just kind of hanging out here. I've done a little bit, slightly more building. I swear to you, in the next few episodes, I will enclose this and have this done. I wanna finish building this before I move on to another place. So that's kind of my goal. But yeah, today's episode is actually pretty cool, pretty special, because this is the 10th episode, so we're getting into double digits. And that might not seem like a lot of episodes, but for me, for someone who is kind of just doing this as a fun thing, and also just my record of series and how long I've even really have run them, this is quite the good milestone for me. So a little pat on my own back. Although you may, I might sound a little weird. I might be talking a little weird. I don't know. Maybe you guys didn't notice it until I just said this, but I've currently had some oral surgery done, so I had to get a tooth messed around with. You know, nothing too crazy. I don't particularly like talking about the dentist anyway. Who really does? So, but yeah, I might be talking funny in the next few episodes just because I am slowly but surely healing up. But I couldn't stop myself from recording because I wanna keep moving forward. And you know, to be honest, I've been playing offline quite a bit, just getting some stuff made that have kind of helped me keep my mind off of this kind of stuff. So yeah. So anyway, enough about that. What I really want to talk about today is thermal expansion. So there's probably a bunch of stuff in here that is totally different from what you saw the last time. So maybe this episode I'll just kind of catch you up of what I've been kind of tinkering around with, and then just kind of explain to you what each one of these thermal machines do. And because I believe the last time we talked, I was talking about making a Magma Crucible and this kind of stuff. So we'll still try to focus on that. But let's first go down to the garden. So I now have 2 gardens going. These are tier 3 of Inferium seeds, which is awesome. I believe they give me 4 essence per harvest. And then this field over here is a 2. So basically, by having these both running, I'm starting to accumulate a really good amount of Inferium, which I am keeping in this cache. So what a cache is, it is a block from thermal expansion. It's pretty cheap, you know, just some tin, some iron, redstone, and a chest. And this holds a lot of one item. So I can hold 20,000 pieces of essence in here. So that's awesome. And, you know, so I basically periodically come check. Ooh, what's wrong over here? Am I just not? I guess I'm just not. I don't have enough seeds and stuff. I try to pick out all the tier 2s, but I'm like, I'd rather them be planting the tier 1s. Let's harvest this one real quick. See. So it gives us 3. So tier 3 gives us 3, which is still pretty good. But anyway, yeah, my goal is to get as much essence as I can, slowly but surely. And really, I don't want to have a giant field of these Inferium seeds. I would like to just have one. So instead of doing a bunch of cheap ones, I'm going to do a small one of the highest tier I can get, which I believe is tier 5. I might even be able to get tier 6. Well, let's check this out. Inferium, tier 5. So, and like if I were to, tier 5 give me 5 essence per plant, which is awesome. And if I were to put it into one of these guys, which we'll be talking about here soon, with rich phyto-gro, I get 15. That's pretty awesome. 20. I just don't really see. I'll talk about this soon, but I don't see. I feel like there's a huge jump between just the normal phyto and the rich phyto, but not really between these two. And then you're spending energy to create this 8,000 RF. So maybe it's more important in other essences and stuff, but for me, it's whatever. So yeah, so that's kind of what's going on down here on the ground. I made some more culinary generators just to, you know, hang out by each one of these. One of the cool things, and obviously this field, I'm one thing about these farmers by Actual Additions, and I really haven't researched it, but I just you can't assign what to plant where, sort of thing, from what I can understand. So you just kind of have to go for it. So like I organized this field to be half and half, and it already started planting rice in other places. So I might just have to do a whole field of rice, whole field of potatoes, and so on. I did get some soybeans, which is pretty cool, and I actually used this method here with AgriCraft by crossbreeding different plants. I was trying to get a chili pepper plant, which I managed to get, which I planted over here, by crossbreeding tomatoes with onions. I believe that's what it was. So yeah, I'll definitely get more into this and then how this mod works. It had an update, so it's not. I believe it still says it's in beta, but let's see here. Yeah, it's still in beta, but it's a great way to kind of get seeds for Pam's Harvest Craft without having to just continually go run around and search for them. But yeah, I'll definitely get more in depth with how this works. Also, it's just a great way to kind of keep your plants from getting pulled out of the ground or stomped on or anything like that. So, but my main fuel source I've been recently using is this rice bread, because obviously rice grows pretty quickly, and I'll show you with thermal expansion what I've been kind of working on to produce a lot of bread quickly. It's not anything special, but it's pretty cool. So besides that, guys, down here, I guess over here for my bees, I have it kind of semi-automated. So underneath here, from thermal expansion as well, are these item ducts, which I've kind of talked about before, and they all have servos, and these servos are just pulling out anything that comes into this area, and then it all gets piped down here, and then when it's finished, these queens will obviously deposit themselves there and then get sucked in. So every once in a while I just come down and check to see if this is full of queens, and if it is, I just replace them. I can fully automate this by putting more item ducts on the top and to pull out queens and place them if they ever enter the chest. But I'm not really trying to super automate this for right now. So I did have to run to the nether there for a bit, so that's why the nether portal's going. But yeah, I think besides that, that's basically what's kind of been going on down here. I guess one last thing is over here, I do have one of those arboreal extractors. Now, in my one theory factory, I did talk about tree oil. However, I'm not using that currently. I'm not trying to make tree oil currently, but these machines will extract resin from like spruce trees or pine trees, and it will extract sap from oak trees. So I kind of just place this guy down. Doesn't take any energy, just takes time. And I did make some phyto-gro, so it doubles the amount. So usually every 30 seconds or something like that, it gives me 50 millibuckets. So this will give me 100 millibuckets every 30 seconds. And it's just kind of slowly but surely pumping into here, because this will come into play here in a bit. So, and I just have a fluid duct with a servo pulling it out from this machine as well. So nothing crazy. And like I said, I want to get into tree oil, but also into showing you guys what this is all about. Actually, I'm going to pick up the tank, because maybe this episode I can just show you guys, because I'll be showing you how a machine actually works. Okay. So for the machines that I have made up here, there is several. A lot more than I really was trying to make and get through, but I just kind of went with it. So let's, what do I want to start with? Maybe I'll start with the Magma Crucible and the Liquid Transposer and kind of work my way around and just chat about some stuff. So the Magma Crucible is used to melt down materials. So for instance, let's say I want to make some, what is this called here? Oh man, I can never remember how to spell it. Let me go to thermal expansion. Signalum. Let's say that. So let's find the blend for this. So signalum is 3 pulverized copper, 1 pulverized silver, and a bucket of destabilized redstone. Now to get this, you put it either a block in to get a whole bucket, or you can put in individual pieces of it as well, and that gives you 10. I didn't realize this, but so 10. Oh, never mind. That's a block of destabilized redstone. So if it's 10 pieces of redstone, will give me a bucket. So let's grab 10 pieces of redstone. All right, I'll throw this in. And it is pretty slow for what it does. But so what this is doing is it's going to melt down this redstone, and it's going to, because of how I have this side is orange, so it's going to be connected to this orange, which means it's going to output to the right. And this has blue on the left, so it will intake from the left, and it will get destabilized redstone put into it. Now, when I put a bucket in here, once it hits 1,000 millibuckets, it will fill this up, and I will have it. So while that is doing that, okay, I do have some silver. Now, what about copper? Oof, it doesn't look like I have a lot of copper just in general. Oh, I have copper down here. Never mind. I did have to start to consolidate my space, which is another problem in itself. I need to stop using chests. I'm getting really bogged down by them. But as you notice, so the pulverizer will insert right into the redstone furnace if I wanted it to. However, I turned off this side. So let me just kind of show that again. So if I want this, so blue means it'll be intaking. So if I put a hopper on top of this and it connects to this blue port, that means anything I put in that hopper is going to drop down into this slot to get pulverized. Now red is going to be where the material comes out of. So that pulverized copper that landed here, if I had this turned to red and then I had this turned on to blue, then it would have imported or moved it from the pulverizer over to the redstone furnace to smelt this copper. However, I want to keep that how it is because I want to use these separately currently. Also, if you right click, it'll go backwards, left click goes forwards, and there you go. So now there we go. We should have our bucket. Let's go over here, make that blend. Oh, there's all my copper. Okay. Didn't realize I had like 2 stacks in my table. Silver, redstone, and there we go. I'm actually gonna need to make a bunch of this, so let's get another one going while we wait here. There's that. There's a lot of things you can actually melt down. Glowstone is another one. Each one gives you a different amount though. So glowstone will give you 250 millibuckets, so you only need 4 pieces of glowstone to fill up a bucket, where you need 10 for redstone. And I believe you can melt down everything from lava to like cobblestone to lava and stuff like that if you really need lava, and so on and so forth. So while that is going, let's cook this up real quick. Oh, wait a second. You see that I can't actually put anything in here? Why can't I put that in? What? Maybe it's because I have an augmentation. So this augmentation, basically what it does, it allows me to get additional food when cooking. However, it can only cook food. So it literally turns this into an oven. So let me grab some rice here. So 3 pieces of rice, in this formation gives me 2 rice dough. So now if I usually cook this, and it's 1 rice dough for 1 rice bread, same thing with just that. But if I have in that Trevection chamber, I get 2 pieces of bread for 1 piece of dough, but I can't smelt anything else in there. So I throw this in, There you go. That's awesome. So that's why I'm using this for fuel right now, because I can easily make it. But once I take this out, I can throw in whatever. No. Let me see. What do I have to do with this? Do I have to put it in the? Looks like I might have to use an induction smelter, which is fine. So yeah, I didn't realize that. That's different. Usually the blends you can actually used to be able to put them in the redstone furnace, but I can see how that might be a little bit too easy. So because these are special metals. So there's also Enderium, which is pretty crazy to get. I don't even know. It didn't really show me a recipe here. How about nuggets? Want to show me? Let me see here. Where was the powder that I found? So yeah, Enderium. There we go. So you need pulverized lead, platinum, and a bucket of ender pearls, basically. This has glowstone, tin, and silver. This has what we just did, copper, silver, and redstone. And then they kind of get into these lesser blends, which is copper and whatever, so Invar and things like that. So anyway, let me put that back in because I'll probably be cooking some more. Let's go over here, put some sand in, and get this moving. And that's pretty quick. And it makes slag, which is good because we actually want slag. And I think I've kind of told you guys about the induction smelter in an earlier episode, but it's kind of like a redstone furnace, or just a furnace in general. However, you can smelt things in here with sand, like I just did, and it will give you a chance to get slag, which you can use in making the phyto-gro, as well as other stuff, so clay and florbs and stuff like that. You can also smelt it to make rock wool, which is used in some recipes. But then there's just a lot of things you can smelt. One way to make like hardened glass, which is part of a bunch of recipes, is by putting 4 pulverized obsidian dust and a lead ingot or lead dust in there, and that'll produce that hardened glass for you. You'll need it for several upgrades as you kind of get higher and higher here. So, yeah. Let's see. We have energetic fuser, which I actually put an upgrade into. This upgrade in particular allows me to charge my jetpack a lot quicker. Basically, it takes off all the limiters, but it drains the energy very quickly. So it basically will absorb energy as fast as I can provide it. So this right now is probably maxing out my flux ducts that are underneath here. But boom, there you go. It's filled back up, where it used to take ages to do that. Like literally ages. So then the sawmill I've talked about, with cutting up pieces of log into, instead of getting 4, you get 6. So that's always good. And then the compactor, I should say, will actually give you certain things. So I personally right now have an augment placed in here that will make gears for me. So instead of me having to go through the rigmarole of making stone gears, then wooden gears, then stone gears, then whatever, I can just take 4 pieces of whatever gear I need, and it will press this. It'll compact it into a gear for me. And there we go. That's awesome. That makes my life so much easier. It really does. But also, if I needed some, the press mode will make plates. So metal plates kind of come up in some later on upgrades for things, especially making augmentations. And then you can also do storage, where it'll just compress things down. So compress cobblestone or anything like that. I believe it'll just kind of store that. But I've never really needed this mode. It's basically been the gears or the plates. So then we kind of talked about the redstone furnace. We've talked about the pulverizer. This is how you double your metals. So if you put 1 piece of iron ore in, you get 2 pieces of iron dust, which smelt into 2 iron ingots. Now this guy is a new one. It's called, oh man, Centrifugal separator. Now, and I actually don't know if I have anything up here to centrifuge. Let me go grab this. Let me get down here to my bees. Hello. Let's just take some honeycombs. Get back up here. Da, da, da. And throw this in. And it basically starts to centrifuge this, which means to separate. So it'll start to separate this into wax and into honey. So there you go. Boom. So another cool thing is that obviously honey can be used as a food just to eat, but it also counts as sugar in recipes, in most recipes. And then with these wax, you can actually burn them and use them for fuel. So you get, I think 40,000 RF if you use this. Let me see here. So 40,000 RF, it burns for 6 minutes in the survivalist generator. So that's pretty awesome. Like, it's a pretty nice reusable, renewable resource, you know, as the bees produce them. And I get honey too. So again, that is very useful. And then the last thermal expansion machine I have here, and this is the one I'm the most excited about, and I really want to focus on with this playthrough, is the photogenic insulator. I think I said that right. So what this does is whatever seeds you put in there, it will grow whatever it makes, and I'll get to that in a second here. Let's just grab some seaweed. I'll turn that into a seed. Throw this in there. So you throw this in. So this needs power and needs water and needs phyto-gro at least. So when you put that seed in, it gives you seaweed, and it puts the seed down here. Now the cool thing is, and let me go to the recipe here. So you see how it says 110. So by me using the phyto-gro and a seed, it'll give me seaweed. It costs me 2,400 RF and 600 millibuckets of water. I have a 110% chance to get a seed. Now that kind of sounds silly. You should just get it back. But what that means is that you could actually get 2 seeds. And the same thing for as you go up with the fertilizer, with the phyto-gro. So another great thing about this machine is not only being able to kind of instantly make food with it and or grow plants with it, you can actually use mystical agriculture seeds in there. So it took me forever to figure out how to make a mob seed, and I will certainly go through that in another episode when I need to get some other different ones. But my main focus was making an Enderman one, because I need ender pearls. I just have had a terrible time finding ender pearls. The only way I was able to get ender pearls was through inventory pet chests and getting the nuggets and turning those into ender pearls. But now, when I place this in here, it very slowly but surely will give me 1 piece of Enderman Essence. And then this can be used in a circle to give me 4 ender pearls, which is awesome. Like that really changes the game for me. And then maybe before I go, although I know this episode's running a little long, but it is my 10th episode, so I will allow myself. I want to show you guys one more thing. Before I need to take a break because my mouth is starting to hurt a little bit, but it's worth it. Fight through the pain. Let's just dump some milk somewhere. I do need to do something with these buckets of milk. I need to figure out something. Can I? Oh, no, looks like I'm just going to drink it. There we go. I don't care. All right. Let's get a bucket of this sap. And we'll put some in that liquid transposer here. So now we have 100 or 1,000 millibuckets. So we have a whole bucket. Now when we put this in, this is going to use 200 millibuckets per piece, and it's going to turn this from phyto-gro into rich phyto-gro. And like I was saying earlier, I feel like rich phyto-gro is the best one out of the 3 of them. So I got one of these for 1 piece of phyto-gro. So now, let me grab some other ones here. With me putting these in, I'll just move this down here. I should get 3. Yes, so I get 3 now, which is awesome. So if I throw this in one more time, and I believe I have 1. So I have any essence over here? I thought I had a little bit of essence, but maybe not. Again, if I had a big storage system, it'd be easier to find. And we'll do it one more time. And, yeah, so instead of getting 1, you're getting 3. Now, let's see here. For power, you're using 4,800. You're using a little bit more, but it's worth it for the 2 extra essence. And you're using a little bit more water, but that, who cares about water? And then, really, you're wasting so much energy to give this just to get more of the Ender Essence, 1 more of it. I think, to be honest with you, the biggest thing would be able to get more seeds. But if you're using one of these anyway, I don't see why you need more of them. But that's just me. I don't know. Now, we can go over to a table here. And boom, 4 Ender Pearls for us. Isn't that awesome? I love it. I really do. That makes me so happy. So as we get further into our playthrough, I can try to start making different kinds of mystical agriculture seeds. So like if we need a certain type of something, if we need a lot of, man, they have everything from leather seeds to obviously ender pearls, chickens, copper, iron, glowstone, limestone, like they just blaze essence, rabbit essence, they have it all. So, you know, if there's something that I need that I feel like it's gonna be a pain to try to get any way else, I can always just make a seed for it and then use this to make the essence. So but I'm gonna end there. I need to take a break. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me through this, and especially this episode in particular. I really hope it's not too bad. I hope I'm not sounding too awful, but I hope to be healing quickly so I can kind of have a little bit more pizzazz in my voice and not be so monotoned. But again, thank you guys for taking this ride with me and you know, getting to episode 10, and I promise there's going to be a lot cooler stuff down the road. And actually we can we're not done yet with this sign, but we're close. But yeah, so I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you guys later.